I think my first camera was a Kodak Brownie when I was probably 11 or 12 years old. It's a box about like that and shoots rolls of this big film that then you send off and have processed, and then you get some pictures back, and you'll find out your thumbs over some of them, and the exposure's bad on others, and once in a while you get a nice photograph. And color was more expensive than black and white, so I generally would just shoot black and white. And then in the early 60s, I bought a 35 millimeter camera, which was then becoming available to the consumers. A smaller format, a fine grained film on a little roll instead of a big roll. And you could actually process it yourself. So it became affordable. But it was in 36 exposure rolls, or 20 exposures if you couldn't afford a 36. But so that's what we began with in the early 70s. I was already taking pictures in 35 millimeter for a decade before the project. But we'd go out in a boat in response to a sighting report and see some whales, parallel them, and start taking side view photographs of them. And then around frame 32 or 33, you'd get kind of nervous. You're almost running out of film. And what would happen would be that the best opportunities were right when you ran out of film. And then you got to, wind that one back up and take that roll of film out and put it in the little plastic thing and put it in your pocket and get another roll of film and put it in. Make sure you get the leader on right and wind it up and shoot another 36 pictures. And we shot about 17,000 pictures in the first year in this fashion, and processed film at night when we'd come back. Hang it up in the basement to dry and trim it in the morning, and whales would go by and we'd run out and shoot more film, and then we'd come back and finish trimming, and then we put them on the light table and look at the negatives, and we could learn to identify the individuals from the negative, and then we'd print up the ones that were useful for a catalog or for showing other people, hey, that's a nice picture of a whale. Well, and then things have developed since then quite a bit. Digital photography came along. For us, around 2004, it started becoming accessible. And by 2005, that was all we were doing. And now we had the advantage of we're not limited to 36 exposures. At the time, the memory cards would allow us to take 100, 200, maybe 300 pictures before you ran out of memory. And they'd be color pictures. And they'd be pretty good resolution. And then just things kept on getting better. Right now we can take 3,000 digital pictures of very high resolution on one little bitty card. In fact, it's about as big as your little pinky fingernail, the micro SDs. Crazy. So we have this amazing archive of every whale being photographed multiple times a year, often with whoever it was with. First year we took maybe 17,000 pictures. I think some of our Earthwatch years in the mid 87 to just before digital, sometimes upwards of 70,000, 80,000 pictures in a year. And now with digital, I hate to estimate. I'd have to look at how many terabytes it takes. But my guess it's a couple 100,000, 300,000 photographs, and that's a lot of pictures to look at.